The biggest march on Wall Street yet may have ended in a flash of violence as 20 protesters were arrested and film surfaced of a police officer swinging a baton wildly at marchers. But the majority of the day was noteworthy for the peaceful turnout of thousands in Lower Manhattan to support the weeks-old Occupy Wall Street protest. The crowd featured the muscle of labor unions. Teachers, ironworkers, and service employees left work to join in. Manny Rodriguez is a Teamster and father of 4 from Spanish Harlem.
I'm very honored to see all the students, all these NYU, all the young generation waking up and sticking up for everybody,
Andrew Piles drove from his college in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to bring blankets and pillows for the hardcore occupiers. Piles says a mixture of things he's seen on the TV, from Wall Street protesters being arrested to the Arab Spring, inspired him to get in his car and drive to the Big Apple.
This is all a chain reaction from that dude burning himself in Tunisia.
Piles says on a more personal note, he's also worried about his future.
So I'm gonna get a degree in about a year that I won't be able to use for anything. And I'll probably end up doing some sort of labor job for most of my life, just because if circumstances continue the way they are in this country.
Hello, posterity!
While many of the stalwarts of Occupy Wall Street are in their 20s, they're getting daytime visits from their elders, a group that includes seasoned protesters from the 60s, retirees, Vietnam vets, labor organizers, and more.
I am so happy for these kids!
Al Gibson from Trenton, New Jersey, fits every one of those categories, especially the more. He arrived with his puppet named Pops.
But you can't sustain a life. You can't buy a house. You can't buy a car. You can't get insurance. You can't do nothing on $10 an hour.
That's right. We gotta fight. Fight, fight, fight.
Logistically, the Occupy Wall Street movement seems to be getting more organized. Basics like food, water, sleeping areas, and sanitation are in order. They've even started publishing a newspaper that explains the movement a little. But an overarching theme or message remains elusive. One attempt to help with that is coming from a group of professional coaches who arrived on Wall Street to try and help protesters synthesize their purpose. 38-year-old Michael Badger has been offering counseling and advice for the past week.
What's needed is for people to say, I have this to offer, it's beneficial, and then to actually step forward and do it, because nobody else is doing it.
But not everyone is buying what Badger and Occupy Wall Street are selling.
The mainstream media is giving the group here a very disproportionate amount of attention.
Bob Brown was on his way home from the dentist. He lives 3 blocks from the protest.
Is it a story? Yeah. Is it an important story? No, because the numbers are just very, very, very small, and it's the most delightful autumn day. If these are the numbers that come out on a day like this, as soon as the temperature drops, you're going to be down to 300 hardcore, and that's going to be the end of that until the spring.
But just when the whole event does seem to be a bit of a distraction, clarity arrives in the form of Thomas Hagen, who actually articulates why he thinks this protest matters.
This is my 3rd time here, and I'm supporting mostly the kids. I think these Wall Street people stole their future.
The 60-year-old Queens resident is a salesman.
The economy's down. I sell mattresses and furniture to the middle class. They're broke.
And while Hagen and his fellow gray hairs say they're in Wall Street simply to support the kids, the strongest voices seem to be coming from their generation, one that knows how to pick a fight.
Where are the indictments? Where are the subpoenas? They gave Goldman Sachs a $500 million fine. That's like giving me a parking ticket.
For Time Video, I'm Jesse Hardman on Wall Street.